Hey everybody, and welcome to Shield's 90-second cyber story. I'm excited to wrap up our series regarding Everyday Co. and the big phishing impersonation attempt that was successful between them and Aussie Co. We're gonna step through the last segment on that, and then we're gonna start a new series. So I just got back from an IT conference where we focused on a lot of our time on securing your MSP, your IT company. It was extremely eye-opening. There wasn't a lot of stuff we weren't doing, but based on some of the feedback that I heard and received from some of the other companies that were there, there's some big questions you need to be asking your IT company. Questions to make sure that you aren't being exposed. Anyways, I'm going to go into all that. We're going to talk about the huge hack down in Texas, how 23 towns and municipalities were hacked. We're going to talk about the dentists that were all hacked down in the States, but that's next week. So this week, let's finish up with Everyday Co. and let's get rolling. Hey everybody, all right, let's roll up this part 3 of the Everyday Co. impersonation ripoff. So just to quickly review, if you haven't watched the last 2 videos, please do. Everyday Company sent an invoice and wire transfer information to their new client, AussieCo. Right after that, an impersonator sent a fake email following up with fake wire transfer information. AussieCo paid it. AussieCo lost out on all that money. And Everyday Company came to us after all this and said, what's going on? How did this happen? How do we prevent it in the future? So we talked about the impersonation and how to watch out for that. We talked about how potentially Everyday Go gave away their credentials through a phishing attempt and how 2-factor authentication would protect them. And lastly, we're going to talk about the anatomy of an email. So let's look at this email here. And what we're going to focus on is 2 things. First off, the from. Don't trust the from. Don't let your eyes deceive you. The from can be faked. It's called spoofing. It is easy for anybody with a little bit of technical knowledge to change that field. So if you're not expecting something from somebody and it seems strange, it seems urgent, one of the key motivators that people ignore a regular process or they follow these phishing emails or fake malicious emails is due to urgency. You're going to lose your data. You're going to lose some money. It comes from a CEO. It's faked. We're going to talk about the CEO scam next week, hopefully. Anyways, so that's the first thing. Don't trust the from. The second thing, to wrap this up, is links inside of your email can also be faked. Just because it says it goes to Microsoft or it goes to OneDrive, it doesn't necessarily mean it does. So double check them. That's our cyber story. That's how the impersonator got access to Everyday Co. They sent a fake email with a fake link. They didn't have 2-factor authentication. They gave away their credentials to their email system, and it was compromised. This allowed them to perform this extremely elaborate ripoff. So that wraps up the story. What we're going to do now is we are going to look at how this could have been prevented. So unfortunately, this isn't something other than manually reviewing and looking at your links and being very, very aware of who your emails come from, which you should be anyway. I'm going to highly recommend some sort of an email security system. Talk to your IT department or your IT company. There are so many great services out there. They aren't that expensive. And what they do is they do things like comparing who the email actually came from versus what it says in the from. And it looks at known malicious senders. It looks at known malicious links and where they go to inside of an email. There's so many tools there, and only that, but it also looks at just your run-of-the-mill spam. We've put this in place for several of our clients, and there's a couple of them where we've turned it on in the morning, and by the early afternoon or even late morning, they've called us up and panicking because they thought we broke their email system, when in fact we didn't. It just turns out that they were receiving so much spam, so much malicious email that it looked like their email was broken. So their inboxes were virtually empty by the afternoon, only containing important and official, legitimate email. Anyways, that's my tip for this week. Talk to your IT department. Talk to your managed service provider or your IT service provider. And yeah, put those in place. It will save you so much time. It will reduce your risk so much. And in the end, keep your business running.